All right, today I'm going to be showing you how to use the buffing machine. This is something that you can use after you've done all of your sanding. So at this point, you should have surfaces and all of your cutting done, and you've used sandpaper up to 1600 grit. So you should see no big scratches, just some of those little ones, and your metal should be pretty reflective at this point. So some safety things with it. There's a screen above right here that my camera is sitting on. This protects us, so you don't need to wear safety goggles and you don't need your hair back, but your hands are going in here, and this will be moving very, very quickly because there's a motor that will spin it. And so because of that, it's really good to wear gloves. Those will protect your hands, and they're located in the drawer right below the buffing machine. So when you're using your metal in here and you're holding the gloves, it does get a little bit louder, but you hold it down below. And the reason for this is if you hold your hands up high and they get caught, they can kind of be pulled to the side. So you always hold your metal down here. If for some reason your metal goes flying, like if you lose control of it and it flies out of your hands, you turn off the machine before reaching for it. All right, so this is just a series of fabrics. It's just some cotton fiber, and the way that it actually polishes your metal is by using a polishing compound. We use one called Rouge here. So when it's spinning, I will charge it, kind of like the way you use wax on your drill bits or your saw blades, just to put a little bit of the compound on. Too much will make kind of a mess on your metal, so it just goes like this, and then I'm done. And then I can start working on polishing my metal. Now, even though polishing doesn't sound like an abrasive process, it is slowly eating away at the surface. So if you do it for too long, you can make your metal too thin. So I think we're ready. So we're gonna get started. I'll turn it on. It'll be loud for a moment. So light in there as well. Hopefully you can still hear me. It's spinning at a very fast speed. I can touch it. Even if my bare hand was in here, I could still touch it because it is just fabric. But, you know, it's ideal to have gloves on to protect yourself. So we're just putting a tiny bit on. You can see I did that just for a second. You don't need much. And now I've got my piece of metal in here, and I'm going to hold it underneath. This is really only good for surfaces. So I'm just pressing it into the wheel, and then I'll pull it up front for you to see. You can see that one area I was working on, it got really, really polished and smooth. There's also some darkness that still needs to get cleaned off. Sometimes that's just the polishing compound that needs a little extra work. You can always clean it off with soap and water after too. All right, we're gonna take a break from that and take a look at it. So I'm waiting for my wheel to turn off. You can see that there is some of this polishing compound on there. A lot of it, it's just soot on the surface. So if you do go and clean it off, you have a shiny, nice metal underneath it. So as you can see, I'm just kind of buffing it off with my finger, and you can see I'm getting a really, really nice high polish with it. So it takes a little practice to get used to, but you're holding your metal down underneath. You're pressing it in. I never want to press in with the sides because the wheel will just take it and kind of flip it. Sometimes it bends your metal too. So it's more of a surface polisher. And if you look, there's not much of that compound on there anymore too. So I might go back and charge it one more time before continuing. Other than that, use soap and water to clean it off when you're done, and then you have a beautiful polished pendant.